Hey friends, welcome back to Artists of the Way. I'm Jon.
And I'm Nate.
And we are here with us.
Yeah.
That's nice.
The boys.
The boys!
We're back in town.
We are. I went on a road trip.
Yes, you did. You went prancing about the country
I did.
in pursuit of one of your favorite artists.
John Van Dusen, and I saw him.
Yes.
Sounds like I'm hunting the
met
white
him in
stag.
St. Louis?
I did. He thought I lived in St. Louis because he's been on the podcast before, so it was a fun little... I walked up, I was like, do you remember me? We did a podcast. He was like, yeah, we talked about Godspell a whole bunch. And he was like, do you live in St. Louis? I was like, no, I live in Grand Rapids, where he just played a show during our blizzard.
Well, why are you here?
I could just see on his face just this like subtle twitch of confusion. Like, but I was in Grand Rapids. We missed the show, and Shay was very supportive of me doing a little solo road trip.
Yeah.
So I drove out there with my red panda stuffed animal and music and an audiobook and a
really
podcast
nice.
to edit. Yeah, it was good. It was really fun. It was out one day and back the next day.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was a really good concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I am back in town.
Hey, good.
That's good. Yes. How are you doing? How are things?
I'm doing well. Yes. Life's good.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Indeed.
Good.
Plugging away.
As you
grinding
do.
at the stone.
Getting that grind set.
Enjoying the good things. It's been really nice to have 50-degree weather.
That has been nice.
It's been so happy
fall
to go
spring.
out for Why'd you say the word false, John?
Because it is. It always is. It doesn't mean we can't enjoy it.
I do.
Good. Enjoy it.
Yes, I work in downtown Holland, and it's really nice to take walks there in this weather, and feels really good.
I believe it. That's nice.
Yeah.
While you've been walking around and just
Yes.
enjoying life,
Yes.
what have you been consuming?
Nom. I actually had been consuming while I was walking around.
Oh, tell me more.
Yes.
Was it a churro?
John, I can't have those. I got allergies. Though for one of our clients, I had to design a churro flavored yogurt, and I'd never had them.
The
yogurt was churro flavored.
So you were designing the visual, right? You weren't
Yeah.
making this yogurt. Okay. I was like, Nate, I didn't know that you could create yogurt flavors.
It's part of the graphic designer's job.
I was like, that does seem outside of the job description.
It's funny though, because I've also had to design the look for peanut butter flavors, and I am definitely allergic to that.
You're like, oh no, I'm helping out the enemy.
Oddly, the perfect person to design for it, because I've had to keep my eye on what peanut butter
That's
packaging
true.
looks like, so
That's
I know.
True. So you're just like
How
the
to cue
expert.
in,
Yeah.
yes.
You know what's overdone, but you know what is essential.
I know that orange is a cue for peanut butter, because
Okay.
whenever I see something orange in the store, I think
Yeah.
danger.
Okay. Are you sure that's not just because of those orange warning signs?
Both say
It's
danger
the
to
toxic
me.
label, also a staple of peanut butter.
Yeah.
But yes, what have you been consuming?
Well, tomorrow, which is probably
Nate,
in the past.
that's what you are going to consume.
I didn't finish my sentence. Tomorrow, a new album comes out from one of my favorite bands. And it's Mumford & Sons.
Oh, yes.
Who I like a lot. And so they're releasing their second album within a year tomorrow.
Nice. Good for
And it's
them.
been years since they had released an album before that, which was before I was really a fan of theirs. So
Yeah.
I don't really have a ground to complain. But they're releasing a new album tomorrow, so it was like, I'm going to listen through all their albums this week in preparation. And I've almost made it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
So I was walking around and stuff and listening to their albums.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I also watched their lead guy Mumford, Mr. Mumford, on a podcast today, and it's always that's interesting seeing artists and kind of you enjoy their music, but then what are they like really? And I'm a little afraid. But what if I don't like you when I get to know you? And I was like, I'm gonna be brave and watch anyway. And it's there's some things I wish maybe you were different this way, but I'm also appreciating you too. And
Yeah.
I think that's maturity.
I think so.
Thanks, man.
Good job.
It was interesting.
You can
though.
hold both.
Yes.
You can hold the things in tension.
That's what I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
Intention. That's Chekhov's intention. We'll be coming back to that later.
Yes. In space tension, not intention. Holding things together in tension.
Right, not intentionally.
Right.
I'm
not intentionally holding things in tension.
No.
Tension is just
passively holding them in tension. What have you been consuming?
Well, I also listened to the whole discography of Jon Van Dusen on my road trip, so I just think that's
I thought you were going to say Mumford & Sons. I'm like, what?
I haven't listened to a lot of Mumford & Sons.
They got a new album coming out tomorrow.
I could listen to it.
There's 3 songs that they've already released from it, and they're really good.
Nice.
So
I should check it out.
You should check it out. It's called Prize Fighter.
We could do like an album swap where I listen to an album and you listen to an album.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I think that'd be fun.
Which album do I need to listen to by next episode?
Have you ever listened to one of the Jon Van Dusen ones? I know I've played you a couple songs.
Yeah, I listened to at least part of one of his albums in the past year.
I think you should listen to his newest one because I think you'd really like it.
Okay.
It is called As Long as I Am in the Tent of This Body, I Will Make a Joyful Noise.
Okay, I think you told me about that.
Yes, because that was the one
that I wasn't as long. Oh yeah, yes.
This
is the one that I started listening to.
Part of?
I will listen to the whole thing.
Listen to the whole thing. Yeah, because I mentioned it on the podcast.
Oh, I've already added it to my thing.
I just think it's just nice, and I think it captures his music well.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Sweet, and then I'll have you listen to Mumford & Sons' new album.
Yeah.
Prize Fighter.
That sounds fun.
I'm their
Hopefully it's a
promoter.
good one.
Yeah. Hope so.
If it's not, then I'll listen to another one.
The 3 songs are good.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
can't vouch for all the rest of them if they're terrible. I've not heard them.
I turn it on. They're just cussing throughout.
There is sometimes some cussing.
That's fine. I'm comfortable with some cussing.
Okay.
So, good. We've shook on it.
Yes,
we're doing this now.
Sweet. We'll
yes. So there was that. I've been reading through this fantasy trilogy, and I keep feeling like I need to wait till the fantasy trilogy is done
before
to
you
talk about
it.
consuming. But I'm now on the 3rd book. That was my flu activity. So I went to see Jon Van Dusen, and then I got the flu.
Jon Van Flusen.
But through the flu, I've just been reading this book. It was really good. It was a good little fun. But yes, I just plowed through the last bit of this book, so that was fun.
The second one?
Yes.
Okay.
It was tense, but good.
Did you hold it in tension?
Yes, I was holding the book with tension. I just rewatched a movie that I randomly became, I think, one of my top 10 favorite movies. Shay showed it to me.
That could be a podcast topic.
What are your top 10 favorite movies?
Yeah.
Yes. Would love this.
Cool.
Shay showed it to me last year, I want to say. It's called Elizabethtown. Have you ever watched Elizabethtown?
I have not, but that has Legolas in it, right? It does.
It stars Orlando Bloom and Kirsten Dunst, and it's kind of a rom-com. It's like a rom-com / drama film, but it's really about his character. So it starts with he's been this kind of intern at this shoe company where he graduated and got in this program, and he was able to design his shoe, and the company would back it, and they put millions of dollars into this shoe.
Whoa.
They really were this shoe is the next thing. We really believe in this shoe. And it starts.
I remember seeing images for this movie throughout the years, and I never once thought shoe.
I know. My mom owned it, which I didn't. So Shay picked it up from a thrift store, and I didn't. We got the cover, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, my mom owned this movie." I would go in the basement and look at the movies, and I'd pull this movie out and look at it, and be like, "What's Orlando Bloom holding over his head?"
Was it a shoe?
It's not the shoe. You'll find out what it is in a second.
Okay.
So the shoe, you start after this shoe has launched, and it's a disaster. It's horrible. It's a horrible launch, and they have to recall it all. And they lose almost $1 billion.
Is it because it didn't have enough soul?
Quite possibly. They never really specify why people don't like it, but Alec Baldwin plays the guy who runs the shoe company,
he's
and
good.
he's literally in one scene, and he just hams it up in this one scene. It's really
Wow.
funny. He's just talking about all the things that they're going to lose because they lost $1 billion. He's like, this is my basketball team. They don't know yet. And then he moves to like this weird like nature preservation / like watch like cameras like operation where he's like tracking all his animals, and he's like, we could have saved the world. We could have saved these animals, but he's like, and he quotes the news article. He's like, this shoe may actually convince an entire generation of people to return to bare feet. And then he just like laughs maniacally and slightly crazed, and it's just so wacky. But Orlando
How did
Bloom's
that shoe
character-
get produced if it was so terrible?
I don't know. But Orlando Bloom's character is just like, well, that was all I have. Time to kill myself.
Oh no.
And so he like sets up this like Rube Goldberg contraption to kill himself. And then he gets a call from his sister, and he almost doesn't pick it up, but he does.
Was
And
in the
his
middle
dad
of the
is
Rube Goldberg
Yeah, he
thing
like
working?
literally like sits down to end his life, and his phone keeps ringing, and he's like, fine, I will pick it up. And it's his sister telling him that his dad has died.
You can't die when your dad's died.
I know. And he's the oldest sibling, so he has that like oldest sibling responsible complex that oldest siblings can have.
It can be a helpful thing.
It can be a helpful thing, but I think overall it can be helpful, but there's some drawbacks to it, I think.
It
I
kept
think
him
can be
alive.
stressful. It did keep him alive. But so then he has to go, his family lives in Oregon, but he has to go to Kentucky, I want to say, where his dad was raised and where his dad passed away because he had been visiting. And he has to go help with the funeral arrangements.
Okay.
And that's a very dour setup, but it is actually just such a sweet, heartwarming, life-affirming movie. And the romance between him and Kirsten Dunst is really sweet and very wholesome. And it's just really all about this guy who has just poured all of himself into this one thing that then fell apart catastrophically. Wow. And is just like, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm completely drained. And just him rediscovering life in this little American town with these people that aren't remarkably good or bad. They're just people.
Yeah.
And this, wonderful woman that he falls in love with, and his parents sort of coping, or his mom and his sister like
I'm
sort
dead.
of coping with it.
I have to cope with the fact that I'm dead.
But it is just I just love it, and it uses a soundtrack really well, like songs and things.
Good. Are you saying these songs have lyrics,
yes.
and you might hear them elsewhere than this movie? Yes, I like it when they do that.
But it's just lovely. And the first time I watched it, I was just like, wow. It was just so unexpected. And I was like, that might be one of my top 10 favorite movies. And so we were going to pick a movie the other night, and I've had the flu, and it's just been exhausting, and life is life-in and is stressful, and
life is not affirming.
It's not affirming. And so I was just like, this just sounds like a feel-good thing. And it was just very nice, and just it's the kind of movie that I feel like reminds me to just really live in the now and enjoy the now.
Nice.
And so it was just really good. Really
That's
nice.
sweet.
So, yeah. I think you would enjoy it.
It sounds nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I remember that I also saw a movie. On Valentine's Day, Ellie and I went to the movie theater.
Yes.
And saw Solo Mio.
How was that?
It was good.
Nice.
It was interesting because I'd been seeing a lot of advertising for it on social media, and I was interested. It has the guy who plays Jesus in the Chosen. I almost said the Frozen.
In the Frozen. Did you know Jesus is in Frozen? Take another look.
Yes. But he's like playing a more comedic character. More comedic than Jesus.
But that guy's a hoot.
Could be. Ooh, that would kind of go to my Struck by the Spirit.
Ooh. I'm just Chekhov's gunning all over the place.
You'll be doing that later. We're just seeing the gun.
Oh,
now.
that's right. Sorry.
Place.
Let's all silently admire the gun. I wonder if that'll go off in the third act.
I bet it will.
Anyways.
But yes, it's a Kevin James movie
Yes.
about a guy who goes to Rome with his fiancée because they're going to get married there. And then at the very beginning, he gets stood up at the altar. And he's just does not accept this. And he tries to find the girl and calls her a billion times and texts her a billion times.
Oh, no.
And in the movie's him just learning to cope with this. And he ends up going on his honeymoon all by himself. And he's with all these other couples that are on their honeymoon trip together. And he's riding around with them on a tandem bike, but it's just him. But then of course he meets another lady who runs a coffee shop, and she's very nice, and it was quite sweet and pleasant.
Yeah.
A takeaway from it though was that movies can be better than their trailers. Because I was interested in seeing it from the advertisements, and then I finally watched the trailer, and it was not a well put together trailer.
I wasn't impressed with the trailer.
You saw the trailer?
I did.
Okay, then you can maybe jive with what I'm saying. It had it seemed to tell the whole story.
Yeah.
Right in the trailer, and then the music was inspirational 2000s music.
Yeah.
Which does not evoke comedy.
No.
And the movie was actually quite funny.
Okay,
and
because I didn't think it was going to be really very comedic.
It was rather comedic. It was
Nice.
pretty comedic. It's a rom-com, and it was comedic.
They put the com in rom-com.
And the trailer had hardly any com in it.
All rom, no com.
And even not that much rom. But
it was just the hyphen.
Hyphen, the movie. And so I was like, oh shoot. Well, at least we'll go to the movie and we'll have fun watching movie.
Yeah.
And maybe I hope it's better than the trailer.
Yeah.
And it was.
That's nice.
Because his trailer is his own art form.
It really is. I love a great trailer.
Yeah.
Just mwah.
Like the Spider Noir trailer. That
Really
was good.
good trailer.
That was good.
I'm very excited for this show.
It looks like it'd be pretty good.
I think it's just going to be a wacky fun time.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage playing
Nicolas
1920s?
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch it in black and white, and that looks like it'll be the best way to watch it.
I think that's it seems like that's what it was shot for and lit for.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I'm excited.
And I read that he said that his performance is 70% Humphrey Bogart and 30% Bugs Bunny.
Yep.
Which seems exactly right.
Yep. There was Christopher Walken recently said, maybe last year at some point said, I think every role that I've played has had a little bit of Bugs Bunny in it. I'm like, what do you mean? You've played so many different roles. Like the dad in Catch Me If You Can, where you're just kind of a little depressing. That had Bugs Bunny in it.
What?
But I love the idea that Christopher Walken is just I'm just going to pretend to be Bugs Bunny, and I'm going to get an Oscar nom. And people are going to love it.
What did he get an Oscar nom for?
I have no idea. I just assume that he has, but he may not have.
Oh, yeah.
That's big conjecture on my part.
Big conjecture.
Oh, nobody
That's
else
big
will get that.
conjecture.
It's a great year for conjecture.
Yeah.
Oh,
We consumed.
We did consume. I'm full. Nate.
Yeah.
Have you been punched in the gut by this?
That was a little more pleasant than that. I think I said that last time too. I was trying to think before we recorded. I feel like my most strikingness was from last time, and I'm still going off of what I learned from last time I was struck by a spirit.
I mean, that's kind of how life goes.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say that I was reading in my Bible today.
Good.
Yes. And in Luke, and we were in resurrection time, baby. Mm-hmm. And it was...
But it's Lent.
Hey, I do my own Bible plan. What can I say?
You're good. Was that... No, you said today. I thought it was yesterday, and I was like, that would be pretty fun. On Ash Wednesday, you're like, Nah.
This was what I was supposed to have read yesterday. I didn't read anything yesterday. It was nice.
Yeah.
But it was the very last section of Luke. And it was after, like, the guys on the road to Emmaus, they, like, ran back, and they're like, dude, we saw Jesus. And Jesus just shows up in the room. So they're like, hello. Yeah. And he seems like, I just kind of read it as a little bit more jolly than maybe I had in previous times. And just imagining what that would be like for these people who, like, lost a friend who they dearly loved. And he's back, and he's like, a ghost doesn't have flesh and bones. Here, touch me. And I hope there's some hugs, going on. He's like, anyone got any food? Got any food here? Watch this.
Yeah.
And that was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah. And so it was cool to, feel that, just kind of imagine what that would be like. And, like, there's a phrase in there that they're, like, disbelieved for joy, which is an interesting phrase. It's like, this is too good. How could this be real? Kind of thing. And that just must have been really fun.
That's cool. Yeah. I love just those very human Jesus moments.
Yes.
When you can really just be like, yeah, he's God. He also is a dude.
Yeah. And, like, this is literally, like, very human, because, like, I have flesh and bones, and look at my hands and feet. This is where they were pierced.
A couple years ago, my priest preached on that one and was like, I love that one of the first things Jesus does is like, can I have a snack?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty hungry. Is there any food around?
Yeah.
I'd love to eat something.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And just walk into your buddy's home and just open their fridge.
Isn't it crazy, though, how he's like flesh and bone? Ellie texted me a couple of days ago that I think she was reading with Barron, our 2-year-old, and Barron asked, because Jesus was resurrected, and Barron asked where his old body went. And Ellie was like, kind of wanting help with this answer. And I'm like, oh, good question. But, like, the answer is the same body.
Right. It's just
new, transformed. And, like, still has the scars. There's not another body somewhere. And yet it can, like, teleport and walk through walls.
I know. Yeah. It's crazy.
Best of both worlds, really.
Scars, so you look cool.
Yeah.
And also teleporting.
Yes.
That's nice.
That's what we're made for.
Yeah. Cool.
How about you?
Yeah, this has been a nice week. I hadn't really thought through, like, what I was going to share super in depth, so I'm going to muddle my way through. Yes, God is just reminding me, I think, that I don't have control. I don't think I tend to think of myself as a controlling person, but I think I am. I think I always want to control the outcome of something. I suffer from, I often wonder if people in my generation who grew up playing video games, particularly role-playing video games, have a slightly warped view of decision-making and how you can go through life. Because in RPGs, which are role-playing games, for anybody who doesn't know, like video game role-playing games, there's a set number of decisions that you can make. And there's usually an optimal path. If you, like, pick the right choices.
Bunch of forks.
Right. And it's like, okay, I can usually figure out what are the right choices for the character I'm playing to romance this character that I want, like, them to be in a relationship with, or to, like, save this character that I want to save, or get this ending that I want to get. And that probably goes beyond people who've played video games, but I definitely, I think, have a tendency of being like, okay, if I can, like, do this, then I can get this result. And I've just not been having success with that lately. It's just like I'm beating my head into the wall with all these things that I have to, like, get done or make happen. But it's like, boy, I just, like, can't do that. And I think, I've mentioned sort of my, like, weird dry season I'm in. I think part of it has been sort of really honing in on those things. Just like, well, I just have to put my head down and do these things. And this week, God, I think, just really just was like, hey, I've got it. I came down with the flu, so I was like not really able to do much. I was not keeping up on Artist of the Way stuff. I haven't shared this on the podcast yet, but I've been looking for a different job. We're just, different season for our family, so we're, looking for a change there. So I've been spending a lot of time trying to find the right thing, and now I'm sick and I can't do something, I don't feel like I have the capacity to do that. I have all these things that I want to accomplish that I just feel like I don't have the brain power for. And somehow I just felt, partly through Shay and partly through God's grace, I think, just this like nudge to just let go and just rest. And like, you can just read your fantasy book, Jon, and you can play a video game, and that's okay. And like, and I was like, okay, I'm going to lean into that a little bit. And then out of the blue, I got this call for a job from my brother's workplace that I had done zero work to get into an interview
after
with.
you applied like
a lot of
tens
places.
of times, several tens.
Yeah, it's been a draining season, and that just came out of the blue through no work of my own.
Yeah.
And I was
so fun.
Had like a fever and was like, hello. Like, hi, would you like an interview? I'm like, oh, sure.
Sure.
But I think just that paired with just some really nice conversations with our priest and just some good reminders from God that my job is not to make the outcome happen. My job is to be faithful with whatever God has given me. And that means not that I get the optimal outcome, but that I work with whatever he's given me in relationship with him. I do that with him. I prioritize being in prayer with him.
Yeah.
And being rooted in him so that what I'm doing is an outflow of my relationship with him, not my work to try and accomplish what I think he's given me to do.
Success is not defined by the outcome.
Right. And the outcome is what God wants it to be.
Right.
So all I need to do is look at the chips he's given me on the table and say, okay, what do I think is the best move with these chips?
Potato, tortilla.
I was thinking poker chips, but that was the metaphor I was making. But it could be choosing between
white.
But looking and saying, okay, what do I think is is this an all-in move, or is this a fold, or is this let me raise you one? And I don't actually know what the other hands are, but God does, and God knows the outcome.
You're offering me one job. I'll raise you 2 jobs.
Nate, stop picking apart my metaphor. But that's just been, I'm really sort of on the cusp of that, so I haven't really walked it out a whole lot yet. But just there's a strong invitation to just say, hey, from God saying, hey, I've got this. I'm going to make the outcome that I want to have happen, and that's going to be good. It's not going to be bad. It's not going to be failure for you. You just need to make the wisest choice that you can, and you don't need to put all the pressure in the world on it.
Yeah.
And you can just trust me because I love you.
Yeah.
Our priest, his homily for Ash Wednesday was about love, which was really striking. And just one of the things he said was, I'm inviting you, whatever you're doing this Lent, really grounded in the love of God. So don't just give up something to work something, but give up something to see, how does this connect me deeper to the love of God?
Yes.
And so I felt this invitation of well, maybe I need to fast working at a certain point. And that is so anti-American.
Almost like what God told us to do on Sabbath.
But I'm feeling just this sort of invitation of maybe there's a point where I need to say, at this point in the day, I'm done working and the chips are going to fall where God wants them to fall, And
yep.
And sometimes, I'm not saying that that's a permanent life thing, but for Lent, that's feels like a compelling invitation of just, I'm not the one keeping the world running. God is.
Yeah.
And so I can trust him and just live my life in an honoring way to him.
I think he's led me into a similar space for Lent too.
Nice.
Are we
going to go on strike together for Lent?
It's not the exact same thing.
Lent,
but...
Lent.
What do we want?
Lent.
When do we want it?
For the next 40 days.
What do we want?
Lent.
That's beautiful, and you did really well for not having thought of it beforehand.
Thanks.
You were just flowing with the Spirit. This was an example in real time
Of flowing with the Spirit?
Yes.
Nice. Cool. Radical.
Yeah, that was.
Cool. Have we been bruised and battered?
Yes.
Pain. It's good.
Have we been loved sufficiently?
Yes. That's better than pain.
Good.
Yeah. So what's our main topic today, Nate?
Main topic is...
we need a jingle.
Oh, okay. You start this time.
Main topic for the show.
It's good.
Yes. I'm very tired.
Our main topic is talking about the concept of extremes, of moderation, of what's the right way to deal with these things.
Yes.
It comes from our old friend G.K. Chesterton.
Gook Chesterton.
Gook. It's
Orthodox.
Gilbert Clive.
Oh, Gilbert Clive.
Gilbert
yes.
Keith Chesterton.
Oh, Gilbert Keith.
Yes, Clive.
I was
That's
wrong.
the other.
That's C.S.
the other
Lewis.
good guy.
Yeah. The one other good guy in the world.
Yes.
GK and CS.
So glad
and
there's
all
at
the
least
rest.
two of them. So I listened to a G.K. Chesterton podcast where they read through Chesterton live on the show. They actually have an AI Chesterton voice that they made to sound like Chesterton, and he reads the passage. And I'm not an AI fan, but I actually enjoy this.
Nice.
And like after each paragraph, they like stop to talk about the paragraph and give context for the things that he's talking about from the old timey days, because he wrote back in like the early 1900s.
Yeah.
And so the podcast is going through his probably biggest book called Orthodoxy, where he explains basically how it is he came up to like believing in Christianity.
Yeah.
In a very Chestertonian way, and he's just a different kind of thinker. It's very fun. And this chapter is on paradoxes of Christianity.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. Paradox.
And
Sorry, I just love that song.
No, that was good. That was needed at that moment. And so he talks about how Christianity is such a strange thing, and before he was a Christian, he like looked at it and was like, "This is a monstrously odd thing," because Christianity has these paradoxes, and there are Christians who are very pacifistic, like the Quakers, and then there's those who are like the Crusaders who really fought for things. And how can these be part of the same religion? There is they are very like pro like wearing beautiful artistic vestments like the priests do, but then they like eat very meager meals and type of thing, and like these things like seem like how like these things don't fit together. Or like another example he uses that Christianity is very anti-women, but it's also mostly women that are attracted to Christianity. And how can this be? And the conclusion that he came to is that like either that this is a very very diabolical, evil thing that can have these like very opposing things apart from it. Or perhaps this is the way that true things are. And so he's talking this section about balance and how everyone who's sane believes that there should be like a balance to things. And so I will read this paragraph in the middle of talking about this. Paganism declared that virtue was in a balance. Christianity declared that it was in a conflict, the collision of two passions apparently opposite. Of course, they were not really inconsistent, but they were such that it was hard to hold simultaneously. Let us follow for a moment the clue of the martyr and the suicide, and take the case of courage. Because he had talked about previously how can why are Christianities so against suicide but so in favor of martyr? Because they both end in like a person intentionally being okay with dying, essentially, and like they like would bury people who committed suicide like outside of the graveyard because that was a terrible thing to do. But like then they made martyrs saints, and like how does this make sense? No quality has ever so much addled the brains and tangled the definitions of merely rational sages. Courage is almost a contradiction in terms. It means a strong desire to live, taking the form of a readiness to die. He that will lose his life, the same shall save it, is not a piece of mysticism for saints and heroes. It is a piece of everyday advice for sailors or mountaineers. It might be printed in an Alpine guide or a drill book. This paradox is the whole principle of courage, even of quite earthly or quite brutal courage. A man caught off by the sea may save his life if he will risk it on the precipice. He can only get away from death by continually stepping within an inch of it. A soldier surrounded by enemies, if he is to cut his way out, needs to combine a strong desire for living with a strange carelessness about dying. He must not merely cling to life, for then he will be a coward and will not escape. He must not merely wait for death, for then he will be a suicide and will not escape. He must seek his life in a spirit of furious indifference to it. He must desire life like water and yet drink death like wine. No philosopher, I fancy, has ever expressed this romantic riddle with adequate lucidity, and I certainly have not done so. But Christianity has done more. It has marked the limits of it in the awful graves of the suicide and the hero, showing the distance between him who dies for the sake of living and him who dies for the sake of dying. And it has held up ever since above the European lances the banner of the mystery of chivalry, the Christian courage, which is a disdain of death, not the Chinese courage, which is the disdain of life. And I think he's referencing there's some, at least back in the day, some Asian cultures that like we're more okay with like, you know, like suicide, like bombings and stuff in war. And so yes, just that beautiful to have that beautiful love of life, and part of that love of life is then being okay with death. And so they talked on this podcast, and I was thinking about how if you have like two like things that seem like they're on opposite sides of a spectrum, like grace and truth, for instance, the good thing is not the middle. The division between the two numbers, just the mushy middle. Like if we're talking about, oh, if this is a 20 over here and this is a 0, well, let's just go to a 10. And it's like, no, Jesus said, like, I don't know if this was the exact meaning of this case, but like, I'd rather have you hot or cold and not lukewarm. And I think that's a very interesting and helpful way to look at life and these kinds of things. I think a lot of people of our generation, maybe it's more in that, are try to find like the middle ground between things where it's like I'm the smart between. I'll take some of this and some of this.
Yep.
And he did also talk about in this chapter about what looks like what is actually the good middle ground can look from the outside to be like a bad extreme from either end. Yeah. So it can be good to be in the middle because one side thinks you're crazy for this and one side thinks you're crazy for this, but you're actually just normal.
Yeah.
But a good kind of normal isn't just mushing things together.
Yes.
Like it is being fully alive with both things. Sometimes at the appropriate time. Like there's a time for like hard, straight truth and a time for grace. And maybe those like really intermingle with each other. But then with other things too, like I think about the Psalms and David as a character. And that was a guy who really lived fully. You can just see it in the Psalms and in his life, how he was so praising of God and so courageous, and then also so distraught and so where are you, God? And God put that in the Bible, and he was like, this is my guy talking the kind of talk that I want him to talk. He is living at these good extremes that he is fully alive. And I think it can be scary to be fully alive sometimes because we're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like I think about even the weather and what we have in Michigan that sometimes like, wouldn't it be nice to just go out to California where it is the same all the time. Yeah. But in Michigan, we have the vibrancy of life, everything. And it can like stink to be sweltering hot sometimes and freezing sometimes, but it's vibrant. And when we're done with the cold, the warmth has that much more life to it. And we just have a wider spectrum of enjoyment. And it actually reminds me of one of our last podcasts when we had the rapid fire question about what sense would you like to have superpowered. And you kind of chastised me rightly for
I don't even remember what I said,
because I talked about how I don't have a good nose, and I'm okay with that because I don't have to smell stinky stuff.
Right.
And you're like, but there's such good smells, Nate. There's bread, and there's good candles. And it's like, no, you're right. I should want to live a more vibrant life, even if that means that there's hard things that come along with it. And so I just thought it'd be good for us to talk about in life and in art how we can apply that principle of not just going the mushy middle route, but being okay with having the vibrancy of the goods on either side of a thing.
I think, and I mean, I feel like I'm a mushy middle person. I don't know if I actually am. That's my experience of myself. I think that's probably just because when you're trying to hold on to both, it feels messy.
Yeah. But if you are, if like culture labels like this as a middle ground thing, but you're actually like, no, I just really believe in this thing.
Right.
And I believe in this thing also, which is maybe usually connected to the other side of a spectrum. But I really just believe in both of these things, and that's being the appropriate middle.
Right. Yeah. I think it helps because one of the first things I thought of as you were talking about this is just like, which is certainly my experience. I think anybody who's tried to like hold on to these two ends of a spectrum that culture is trying to get you to pick one or the other, or is trying to get you to create some integration of yourself, will resonate with is just that's so exhausting.
Yes.
It's so exhausting to hold those and hold them fervently and be like, no, I am here for grace and truth. I am here for love and justice.
Yes.
I am here for staunchly, planting my flag and also being hospitable. I'm
Right.
here for trying to do all those things, and that just really burns you out. And so I think it reminds us, going back to my struck by the Spirit, like just how much we need to be rooted in God to be able to live that life. Like it.
Yeah, because that's where our identity and what he thinks matters most.
Yeah, and I just think, I don't know if this is a fall thing or if it's part of our design. We really struggle to be paradoxical intentionally, I guess. I think we can be accidentally paradoxical a lot. We can be hypocritical.
Yeah.
But I think we struggle to be able to hold things in tension.
Right.
But for God, it's a walk in the park. Like, that is one of my favorite things about God, and why he makes so much sense to me, weirdly, is just like, yeah, he is a paradox. And he is a being that's so beyond our comprehension that paradox can exist in him, and it's fine. I love the
God and man together in one. Mm-hmm. Big one there.
My favorite, it's not my favorite creed, but I love this creed. It's one of the universal church creeds, is the Athanasian Creed, which is all about the Trinity. And it is the most thorough, theologically accurate description of the Trinity you can get.
It's like, and this, but not, and yet not this.
Yes, it's like, I don't know. Look up the Athanasian Creed, you'll get a good laugh, and also it's theologically rich. It's just so funny. It's like, I can't even remember a quote of it, but it seems like very so detailed.
Okay with the paradox and the mystery, because it's this, and even though it seems like this, it is yet not this.
Right, like it's like they are, Father, Son, and Spirit together as one person, but not one being.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. It like just sets up all these parameters and just sort of throws it at your feet and is like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. But it's true.
This is it.
Yep, but this is it. This is what you have to assent to. And I love that. But I think because God is able to hold those things, we are able to do that through his working in us, through us being grounded in him first, and then trusting him to lead us through that. Another thing that came to mind was a quote from a biblical scholar I really like, Preston Sprinkle. And he says a lot of times the strength of your passion should match the depth of your research, is what he says.
Ooh.
And so what he means, well, I mean, that's self-explanatory. So the idea is, if I'm going to really believe that, like, this is how I'm supposed to operate in the world, I better have really studied Scripture and understood what I think God is saying.
Wow.
And I can be open to that changing. You're always going to be learning more about Scripture. But you should be studied enough to be like, no, I believe that that's what God said. And that's not saying that you have to write an academic paper. But it is saying that, because
do that.
we all, our relationship with God is all different. The way that we learn is all different. Our relationship with Scripture is all different. But we shouldn't just look at the tracks that we can pick like they're like classes in a video game.
Yeah.
And say, okay, do I want to be a warrior? Do I want to be a magician? Do I want to be a healer? Do I want to be a rogue? And then pick one. We should actually say, well, I need to study Scripture and see, what do I think it says about, this kind of sin or this kind of virtue and this kind of Christian life. Right. And then own that. And that doesn't mean you have to be, a jerk about it. Like, you can own that.
You don't have to own them.
Right. Like you can be a pacifist and then not tell everybody who believes in just war theory that they're going to hell because they're perpetuating war. Right.
Actually...
But you should have a deep enough understanding of the parts of Scripture
that you could defend it if you have to.
That you can defend it if you have to, and that you can be like, no, and really believe it. It shouldn't just be like, well, I think I kind of ended up being a pacifist. You should be able to say...
drifted into pacifism.
Right. You should be able to be like, no, I believe, and I'm not going to say it's, the gospel, because the gospel is the gospel, but I believe that the outworking of that means under no circumstances would I choose violence.
This is a hard-fought pacifism.
Yeah, yes. Well, I think it all should be hard-fought. And I think pacifism is just an easy example of that. And that can be really tense because that could easily spiral into questions of like, well, what do you do with Hitler, Or, okay, well, what do you do if you're, give him a gun and you're pointing it to Hitler's head? Like, are you okay blowing Hitler's brains out? That's another person's brain. Like, that can be a really tense conversation. But I think you can approach that in love.
Always bring it to Hitler.
He's the easy one when it comes to pacifism versus just war theory.
Yeah.
But... yeah, so that's the two things that come to mind for me.
For a guy who is so immoral, he's made his way into a lot of moral arguments. That's your legacy, Adolf.
You're just the punching bag that we know we can all use.
Why are you all talking about if you would kill me as a baby?
That's fairly rude. But yeah, so those are the things that kind of come to mind with me when I'm thinking about that. It's just, you're not locking into a track and being like, great, I found it. It's all about how rooted are you in your relationship with God?
Yeah.
And then how willing are you to really wrestle with these issues? That's one of the reasons I want Artists of the Way to do productions that are so thought-provoking, because I think I do this. It's so easy to kind of know what you want affirmed already.
Yeah.
And then be like,
that feels
cool.
good.
I'm going to find the things that like help with that. I might even look at some opposing arguments by people that are jerks that I don't like and that are badly put together. Now I feel really good about my position.
It's scary though, because you don't want to believe something wrong, and it's also uncomfortable to find out that what you were believing was wrong.
Yes.
And then what if that's wrong? The new thing is wrong.
Yes. But I think we just need to not be afraid to think about it.
Yeah.
And to be poked and prodded. Because this is one of my favorite things from free speech discussions, which growing up I heard from conservatives, and I've heard a bit from liberals now in this day and age, but just the idea that you don't need to be afraid of an idea, because if the truth is the truth, it is strong enough to come through when you shine a light on everything. So I heard that a lot in political discourse, but I think it's a great principle theologically to say the truth of Christ is stronger than any truth.
Yeah.
And so I don't need to be afraid of shining a light on anything, because the truth of Christ is strong enough that it will show itself as the truth.
And if you're walking prayerfully with him, it's like, this is scary, God, but lead me into the truth.
Yes.
Okay? And you can trust him.
Trusting him to get you there
instead
of your own capability to hammer out the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this can also apply to like you kind of mentioned it before, but living as the unique person that is you, because we're all God made to be individuals, and how we live in the world and how we interact with the rest of the world is going to be individual to us, and that can be hard to accept sometimes because we think that we need to be like our perception of what a man is supposed to be, or a woman's supposed to be, or like this guy, or that. But becoming comfortable that God made you how you are, and of course He's going to keep growing you, but that you may not just fit perfectly into some bucket that's in your head.
Yes. And I think being okay with that in other people too is important as Christians for us to be able to work together as the kingdom of God.
And appreciate that in other people, and be okay that they don't need to be in a bucket for me to appreciate them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think this principle applies to like making art? The being comfortable with the extremes versus mushy passive middle.
I think the thing that jumps out to me the most is just being all right, being really fervent about something. Because art is good when you know what you're doing and saying. And it's not that you're preaching, but art comes from who we are and what we believe. Yeah. And so if I'm trying to make something that appeals to the lowest common denominator for the purpose of appealing to the lowest common denominator, it's probably not going to be very good. But if I am making something because I'm like, no, I think the world really needs this meditation on grief and the absence of God, as a Christian, or this meditation on what a healthy romantic relationship looks like. And I believe this is what a really good relationship would look like. I think this is a beautiful story, and I believe, just believing in what you're sharing.
And ironically, I think people really enjoy it when people are being themselves.
Yes.
And are making a unique work. Or like I was talking with Ellie earlier about a couple podcasts I watched where like the guests were these different famous musician writers. And I was really struck by how they were just very much being themselves.
Yes.
And how that is that a little rude? How you're like contradicting the questions, but being just very comfortable in your own skin. But it was attractive and it was fun to listen to. And I think about like Shakespeare wasn't appealing to the lowest common denominator, but he was saying what he had to say and people loved it.
Yeah. And he also, he had a lot of deep things to say. Yeah. But then he also was like, I enjoy crude humor, so I'm going to throw it in there. He did just, and sure, some of that was probably popular to the crowds, but I mean, you can feel just this sort of playfulness in it. Right. Like he enjoys what he's writing. One of the most common pieces of writing advice that I think is super helpful is just write the thing that you want to exist in the world. Write the story you want to read. Right.
Because I love it when I can sense that the artist is having a great time and they love their work. That makes me love it more when I know that the artist loves it.
Yes. Oh, what was I just watching? We just watched the 90s Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella.
Yes.
With Whitney 90s. Houston.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's a TV movie. So it's got Whitney Houston is the fairy godmother, Whoopi Goldberg is the queen, and Victor Garber is the king. I don't remember the names of the leads. My cousin Anna, who's our president of the board, was like, "You guys have to watch this." John and Shay, she was over the other night, and we were watching it, and she just kind of got a little sheepish and was like, "Well, this may not be amazing, but it's nostalgic. I grew up on it. I love it." And so she was kind of downplaying its quality. And was it, the most explosive, beautiful, transcendent high piece of art ever? No, but my word, the actors were having such a wonderful, joyous time. Wow. Just acting and singing and dancing, and you could tell they loved what they were making. Wow. And that made me just love it and say, it does not really matter what this is because it's wonderful. And these people believe in it and are doing it to the highest possible quality for what it is. It doesn't have to be a revolutionary piece of work. It can just be a really great version of Cinderella. Yeah.
If you have not loved your resounding gong or clanging cymbal, and these people were doing the thing with love, and even if they weren't the absolute best, it spoke because of love. And it's love is kind of the force that ties us all together and the world together, and it's what God is. What's
Obi-Wan say?
Yeah,
penetrates us and binds us together. We have his cadence. Yes.
No, but that is, and that can apply to what we were talking about earlier, with hard extremes, where do grace and truth unite? It's in love, and maybe all these things kind of unite in love.
I think so. I think love is what enables us to do them all well. Yeah, certainly, because if you don't have that, then you're a jerk or you're a pushover. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it should be the purpose for why we do everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. This was lovely. You had some great stuff to say. During that whole intro, I was just like, preach, Nate. This is great. I'll just sit back here and listen, and then we'll do some rapid fire questions.
No, you had a lot too.
Well, thanks.
You can keep listening to us compliment each other, everyone. You were great.
Your eyes were wonderful.
Were they?
You do have very expressive, just eyes that just burst with joy.
He's doing it for real.
Nate, should we answer some speedy questions?
Yeah.
All right. Who's going first, you or me?
I'll go first.
All right. You're answering number 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did this one already.
Oh, well, you are answering. Give it to me.
Okay, yeah.
You're answering number 11.
As a new one.
It is a new one. Nate's adding questions, guys. It's great. It's all happening. What movie scared you as a kid?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Alice in Wonderland. The Disney cartoon. That's a weird vibey movie in general, but the Queen of Hearts especially scared me.
She's nasty.
Yeah, she's the most terrifying thing to me.
Yeah.
At that time. Goodness. Yeah, that.
Have you watched it since then? Like, are you good with it now, or does it still kind of give you the heebie-jeebies?
I don't think I've watched it in forever either. I've watched like the Johnny Depp ones, and those are fun. They're still a little weird, but they're fun. I still feel scared when I think of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be more okay that I'm 33.
It could. I was scared of several movies as a kid, and most of them I've been able to watch now. There's still one I haven't dared pull the trigger on yet.
Really?
But I do own it now, so I think I'm going to.
We'll hear about that.
We'll hear about it someday.
If you ever get question 11.
Yes.
Okay, what's yours?
Question 12.
Let's go. This is fun. Who's your favorite Old Testament figure?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Thanks.
Am I just going to be basic?
Go for it.
Okay, but honorable mention.
Okay.
Jonah is just so silly and such an interesting, like, biblical figure.
Yes.
A prophet who's just like, I really don't want to deliver your message, Lord, because I'd rather you kill them all because I don't like them. I'm just like...
The prophet who didn't want to be a prophet.
I know, it's so fascinating. It's probably David. I do love Job, and I have an appreciation for Jeremiah. My son's named after Jeremiah, but a lot of that is because that's what fit with his name. But I like a lot of passages in Jeremiah.
My son's named after David.
Hey!
Yeah.
Nice. I feel like everybody probably says this, but I really relate to David. I vibe with him a lot.
We kind of get the most from him,
We
don't
do.
we?
Like, I think he opens his heart the most because he wrote so many
Yeah,
of the
some
Psalms.
other prophets, we get a lot from them too.
We do.
Yeah.
But it's probably because he wrote the Psalms. I think it is very easy for people to connect to him on an emotional level because that becomes our biblical prayer book.
Yeah. And it's helpful that, like, he's this crazy life, and we hear that God called him a man after mine own heart.
Yes.
And so just having that affirmation on that figure makes it much more interesting.
And he's just, I think because his narrative is so long, I think we maybe feel like we get the most complexity from him as just a character. I don't think we necessarily do. I think he is one of the more complex ones, but I think there's other ones that match him. It's just because Hebrew literature is Hebrew literature. Yeah. They just like sort of are like, and then they did this crazy thing, but we're going to move on, you know?
No, that's true. His story does have much more of a modern vibe to it.
Like a book and a half-ish.
Yeah.
So, it does feel like he's got all
part
of
of
1 Samuel.
Well, part of most of 1 Samuel.
Most of it, yeah, because you've got Saul at the start, but
all
most
of
1
and
Samuel.
all of 2 Samuel, and part of. He
Yes,
kind of
'cause
dies
Kings
at the
is
beginning of
Solomon
First Kings.
Yeah, so yeah, he's got like almost 2 whole books.
Yeah,
and so you really live a lot of time with David in a way I think you don't with a lot of Old Testament.
Yeah,
figures.
weren't Samuel and Kings? They were all one book originally.
Potentially, I'm not sure.
That's what I heard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm more of a New Testament person
Guy.
in terms of what I know. But that makes it sound like I'm an expert in the New Testament. I'm not. I just know a little bit more about the New Testament and its history than I do the Old Testament. Well, thanks. Number
Good answer.
8. Let's see what number 8 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You answered this one already.
Okay.
It's that time in the show, guys, where you just hear Nate and I count. You haven't answered this one. Which art discipline would you most like to be suddenly good at?
Okay. Being able to play music by ear. Oh, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
I play piano and I really like it, but I am not as good as I wish I was. I love music. It's just such a part of my soul.
It is.
And it feels like, I wish I could just play whatever I could think. And I just don't know how people do that. I've gotten back into piano lately. I've got a Coldplay book for Christmas, and I've been slowly learning pieces because that's how I have to do it. And that's been a joy. But a couple of my brothers can just sit down and play whatever they think. And that's incredible. I wish I could do that.
When you say whatever they think, do you mean like a song that's already written, or they just create something? Like they just improv?
At least the first and some the second too. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that those.
And they'll do their own arrangements of ones that they've already they've already heard. But even if I could just play a song that is out there already, that would be amazing.
I think you could get there. It's probably harder starting as an adult to get there, I would assume.
Right.
But I think you could get there. I
think I need a better understanding of like how chords work.
I think that could be. I think a lot of times with music, it's just sort of understanding the language. And I think the closer you get to being like fluent, quote unquote, is the closer you can get to being able to play something by ear.
Yeah. Like I can plunk out a melody by ear, but then like adding in like my left hand does not know how to go along.
Well, and that's something that I play violin, which means I'm playing one thing by ear.
Yeah.
Piano seems so much more complex to me.
Yeah.
Because you are almost a symphony in and of yourself.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you're playing sometimes different rhythms and different notes at the same time, which is hard.
Yeah.
And so I just had to do it over and over and over.
Props to you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. It feels like that should be something that I think that should be a bucket list thing for you. I think you should get there. I think you should do it.
I don't know if my brain can.
I think it could. It just might take some time.
Maybe. Yeah. I'll at least keep on playing.
Keep playing.
Yeah. Maybe in heaven.
Definitely in heaven.
At least in heaven. Yeah.
Cool.
Is that it? Was that?
Did I answer 2?
Did you answer 2?
No, I think I only answered 1.
We've got to do another one.
I know. What's question 6? I think I answered it.
You did not.
Oh.
You did not.
I didn't.
1, 2, 3. 1. 2. 3, 4, 5.
We need
6.
like a fishbowl where we just put these questions in.
We just always just like arrive here and like chat and then do the podcast.
We haven't got
a podcast. Okay. Who are the top 3 formerly living people that you would most like to sit and chat with in a room with leather chairs, low lighting, and a fireplace burning?
I would love to chat with Tolkien.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to overthink this. I'm looking at my bookshelf, but my office bookshelf is like the second tier books that we are.
You have so many
in
books
public.
in your house.
Yeah, I haven't read half
It's
of them.
incredible.
I sort of think
If you
of
read
it.
half of them, that'd be incredible.
I think Shay discovered this post online somewhere that was like, owning books and like collecting books is like collecting wine. You're collecting so that you can pull out the right bottle of wine when you want it and when you need it. And I sort of love that image, that it's like, yeah, I'm just building a library where when it's time, I can select the book that I want and I can read it. And I like that idea. Tolkien would definitely be one, which is not surprising to anybody.
That's fine.
Ooh, Christopher Lee. I would love to discuss his beliefs because I'm quite curious what he believed.
Really?
Because he was a very deep thinker and certainly was spiritual.
Really?
There's an interview, or maybe it was a panel or something, where he's talking about the occult. And he's just deathly serious, saying, I knew people in the occult, and it is horrible, and I would beg anyone not to get involved in it.
Wow.
And so that very much intrigues me, where I just would want to know more of what do you believe, where were you at? And then I would love to discuss the craft of acting with him. Him and like Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, I feel like are just like three of just the greatest actors. I'd probably throw David Tennant in there. They're sort of my Mount Rushmore of actors, I feel like. But I'd love to discuss them. And then he would get to talk with Tolkien, and he would love that.
They've met before?
They did meet.
It'd be like, hello again.
Yes. I never did play Gandalf like you said I could, but that's fine, I guess. You know,
What?
this is somebody that I knew that I just would love to have a conversation with again, is Pris McDonald.
Oh. Yeah.
I just...
Former
artistic and founder of Master Arts Theater. I just owe so much to her, and we knew each other. We worked together frequently towards the end of her life. But I just would really appreciate getting the opportunity to thank her for everything she's like contributed to me, either directly or indirectly. And I just think where I'm at in life now.
That's what I was going to say. Where you are, starting artist of the way she started a theater company, and just be so rich.
And I'm just
talk to her about
like
that.
Even just like spiritually, and in so many ways, I'm in just such a different place than I was when I was in high school and college. Working with her, I would love to have a conversation with her again. And I think that her and Tolkien and Christopher Lee would probably love to chat well into the night. I probably would just enjoy sitting there listening to the three of them chat. So that's what I'll say. J.R.R. Tolkien, Christopher Lee, and Pris McDonald. And we'll all have tea, except I'll probably have hot cocoa. But it'll be lovely.
Good.
Chris could have some popcorn or something.
She liked popcorn?
I believe she did, if I'm remembering right. Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought she did. I'm fairly certain.
May it happen.
In eternity, maybe.
I know.
That would be great.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah. Cool.
We could that's like so many years of eternity could be of like making these different pairings of people. This is sit in the leather chairs and the fire and the cocoa.
We should build a little pub that's just like the mix and match pub, and it can just be like, if you want to come have random conversations with random people and see what the vibe is, then come. And we can have like a little viewing room if you want. So occasionally we can have like open ones where it's like, have you ever wanted to see Moses and who's the weirdest Christian?
The combinations are endless.
I know. I'm like, who's like some weird like Moses, Francis Schaeffer, and
Francis Chan.
And Francis Chan, all in conversation together. Just get the weirdest pairings.
That would actually be good.
I know. We should do it. Now we have a business plan for eternity.
We will be well
and
supported.
We can be the podcast
eternity.
host. We can turn it into a podcast. Tune in eternity, guys, for our podcast where we mix and match. Lovely.
Yes.
Thanks for chatting with me, Nate.
Yeah, thank you. This has been great.
If you guys enjoy this episode, subscribe, follow us, share us on social media with anybody that you know who would enjoy this.
Only those people. We don't want the haters here.
Get them out of here. If you want to donate to support our next production, this is the last week before our big fundraising goal. So be sure to give to that if you feel led to. You can find information about that on our website. Leave us reviews, share comments. We would love to hear your guys' experiences about what does it mean to live in the tension of the Christian life, to not go too far one way or the other, and not to just sort of live an apathetic middle life, but to actually really fervently pursue God. We'd love to hear you guys' stories. We do read them. I try and heart react so that you know that we've read them. I'm trying to do it more. I'm trying to be more diligent and fervent in my engagement.
And if it's a bad one, do an angry react.
Yes. But yes, thank you guys so much for listening. I think that's basically it. Am I missing anything?
No.
Good. Nate's given me his seal of approval. Great. It's a very hard, hefty seal. It's got a lot of bass.
Yeah, it's wood and brass with a rubber on the end.
Nice. You have just a perfect picture of what this stamp is. Ready to go.
It's a good stamp.
It is. All right. Well, we'll
Goodbye, everyone.
chat with you guys next week.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Bye, guys.